Hi, how are you doing, Mac?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy 81st birthday to Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. It was. It feels like it kind of came and went without much fanfare, really.
Before we get going, I think we just want to take a minute to remember Chadwick Boseman,
Mhm.
who obviously an accomplished actor in many fronts, but since this is a Marvel show, portrayed Black Panther in two Avengers movies, Captain America: Civil War, and obviously the iconic Black Panther figure film. Um, the outpouring of support from the rest of his fellow Avengers. Um, the one thing that struck me was his smile, his commitment to his strong work ethic, and um, his incredible kindness. So, well, obviously, I don't know him personally. You could tell by how touched everyone was that he will be missed. If you have a chance, ABC News did a special presentation following Black Panther. You can see it on abc.com or Hulu. Um, and we don't want to get too heavy, but we just want to take a minute to remember him, and then we'll get on with the show.
Yeah, this was. I mean, that was really tough news to hear. I believe that was Friday night that the news got to us. You kind of lose track of the fact that these actors who are playing these huge, iconic, larger than life characters, that they are human, and this just reminds you, they're not invincible. And so, yeah, it was really hard news to handle. Um, yeah, it was a tough one.
So, without saying that, we just like to take a moment to remember him. Okay, thank you. So we'll start with our comics this week. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's jump right into the finish of Empire, I guess. Uh, felt like we were waiting for this forever, and now at this point, it feels like it started so long ago. But Empire, I guess, is not officially over. There are still a couple tie-ins that we're going to get to in the coming weeks, but the main story is completed now. What did you think?
I wanted to love it. I don't know. I don't feel like there's any difference between the status quo and issue 1 and issue 6. Um, they wanted the wedding to be the big reveal, but I think that was um, not as impactful in the way they did it as they might have hoped. Um, this started with Hulkling being, uniting the Kree and Skrull people, and it seems like that's where it's ending. Um, and the good guys are all back, and the bad guys are all gone for the most part. So I guess I just don't understand.
Yeah, so I agree. However, I did enjoy most of this particular issue. There were things I liked and things I didn't like, but I think there was more that I did like, actually. You got that big, and this isn't a spoiler to say because you would expect this is going to come in a big crossover story, but you do get that awesome Avengers Assemble moment, which
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed in this one. I will say I've said it throughout Empire. I wasn't a big fan of the Kotati as villains. However, by the end of this one, I kind of got on board with Koi. I think he could be a cool villain moving forward. Then again, there were some things, like I said, there's some things I didn't like. There was this sort of surprise villain reveal, I think, in this issue that didn't really hit. I thought they did it kind of clunkily. Um, didn't really have that power that I think they thought it was going to. But overall, I liked this issue. This is actually, believe it or not, this might be my first Empire pick of the week.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
To me, I felt like they were trying to get us excited about the reveals several times. Like they would reveal it to us, then they would reveal it to the characters. And it's like once it's revealed, it's kind of revealed. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to go through each Avenger and be like, whoa! Like I get it. It's not. I guess we knew, so like I don't know. I lament the fact that there's probably more to this scope of the story before COVID. There's more tie-ins. I did enjoy many of the tie-ins. So, I think this is a book that is an event. Not saying the tie-in you have to read the tie-ins to get it, but I think the character moments, particularly with Fantastic Four or even the X-Men tie-in book, I think it really helped breathe out the story. Whereas I think the main title was a little bit too point A to point B to point C to point D.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I did, however, like that, and we talked about how we both enjoyed the Fantastic Four tie-ins, and that tie-in really played a huge role in this one. And you kind of got this really cool moment for Valeria and Franklin Richards, more so for Valeria, I guess. But those couple pages were some of my favorite in this issue. So that was really cool to have that come full circle. But then there was other stuff that kind of just fell to the side, didn't really matter. So yeah, it was up and down for sure. But like I said, more that I enjoyed than what I didn't enjoy.
Okay, where to next?
So let's jump into Black Widow #1. And this was the comic that I actually wrote out a review for this week, so you can check that out now on laughingplace.com. I liked this one. This was a fun issue. Black Widow is one of those characters that, for me, in the big crossover events, she kind of just gets lost. But when you get her solo stories, they're always a lot of fun to read.
I particularly enjoyed the beginning where she's like in her monologuing like her relationship with Clint and a little bit about Bucky. I enjoyed it. The middle where she's just like you're not. She obviously has some sort of weird amnesia or something's going on. I thought that was a little long. But especially but I appreciate that in a #1 issue they're willing to be. They don't need to feel like they need to go all gangbusters all out right at the beginning. It's definitely a #1 issue, and then the interplay between Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, I thought was really good at the end. So it definitely made me want to know more. And then when they bring in the surprise villain and all that, I'm definitely gonna check out issue 2. So I was getting a little worried there. I'm like, wow, Black Widow is undercover at a construction site or whatever. Like that. I was just like, this is weird. But then as soon as she walked through the camera, I'm like, whoa, okay, there's something going on here.
Right. Yeah, there was. I thought it was an interesting decision to launch your new Black Widow series and kind of have her not be Black Widow right from the beginning of the story. Obviously, it feels like they're going to be sacrificing action for the sake of story, which in a lot of cases can be really good if the story is done well. And I think this is set up to be a very different kind of story, one that we're not used to seeing so often. So I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, I'm definitely interested in the second issue and very curious to see where they go from here.
So that leaves our final issue of the week.
Yeah, Miles Morales, SpiderMan, #18.
Legacy issue number 258. So I don't know what. There can't possibly be 258 issues of Miles Morales, right? Am I that old?
I wouldn't think so, but I cannot keep track of the line of Spider-Man comics and what goes into what. So sure, number 258. Sure, we'll go with that.
So this issue spins out of the Outlawed storyline where they're sort of legislating teen heroes and telling them they can't be heroes. This was my favorite. This is my pick of the week, particularly because of not so much the stuff with Miles, but the stuff of his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought that was really neat to see non-powered people be superheroes because they're parents and need that moment to shine. And when their backs against the wall, even though they don't even know why necessarily, they shine. I thought that was a really cool moment. And, maybe just because we've been so focused on Empyre and big titles, like I just love this little there's heavy stuff here, like regarding, the rights of people to be heroes and, government overreach and all that stuff. But they keep it focused on Miles and his friends and family, which I think made this issue my pick of the week.
Yeah, on this series, we've talked a lot about, those sort of big cosmic stories versus those grounded relatable stories, and this is definitely the latter. And we both have sided that we enjoy that kind of story more often. And I really do enjoy this outlawed story. I feel like, when you are reading some sort of content, you can really get into it when it feels like something that could actually happen to you. And, we're not going to be, hopefully not going to be fighting off an alien invasion anytime soon. So, right. So yeah, this one, I like this overall story. I think my only issue with the issue was that it didn't progress the story enough. It felt like it was very contained. Honestly, it felt like this issue took place over the course of maybe 15 minutes, which is fine. We get comics like that occasionally. I just want to see more of the story. I want to see it branched out a little bit. I did like you said, with his parents becoming, a big part of the story. I also like his friends in school having to deal with the sort of, quasi superhuman registration kind of thing that they have going on. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting story, and I'm looking forward to see how it plays out.
Before we move on, I just want to give a shout out to William Sanchez. William, if you're a Marvel fan, we'll always be your friend.
Absolutely.
Join us each week at Wednesday around 1:00. So moving on, why don't we? This is something I know nothing about, and but Fortnite.
Oh, you're not a big Fortnite player?
No.
No, neither am I.
I mean, it's very popular.
It is. It's definitely very popular. And the trailer for this, I don't know if you checked that out, but that was really cool. So we had known about a Fortnite involving Marvel prior to this actually launching, but I kind of just assumed, Thor might be a playable character for like a week or something. But it looks like there's a whole storyline that's involving Thor and Wolverine and Storm and Iron Man. There are a bunch of different characters. Doctor Doom is even in there. And it looks pretty cool. I've never played Fortnite before, but this kind of has me interested. So
here's the thing, though. This timing is terrible because I'm going to be playing Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
And, there's only so much time, I don't live in my parents' basement, so there's only so much time I have to play video games. And I don't know. I just feel like it's the weird stepchild of that game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And this Fortnite's not the style of game that I play. So if I check it out, it will only be briefly before jumping into Marvel's Avengers when it launches this Friday.
Speaking of which, you attended the recent war table for that game, and they revealed a new character.
Yeah, Kate Bishop, which to me was a huge surprise. I mean, I thought we were getting, I thought they were going to tell us more about Ant-Man or something like that. But yeah, last week last war table event, they revealed Hawkeye Clint Barton was going to be part of the game, and now we know the second Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, will be a part. And if you haven't checked out the trailer where they revealed her in the game, check it out. It's awesome. She looks like she's going to be so much fun to play with. And really a great character too. So if you haven't read any Kate Bishop comics, check those out for sure.
So going back to comics, I probably should have put this different time of the show because it's terrible. But got some new covers for this nonstop SpiderMan, which was delayed from
Yeah.
So what do you know about this series?
Well, this was another one that I honestly I had forgotten about because, like you said, it was delayed. I felt like we had heard about this so long ago. So at this point, I'm trying to play catch up. But basically, just a heavily action-based Spider-Man series, which is sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, and I'm a big Spider-Man nerd anyway. So anything with Spider-Man on the cover has got me already.
So, there's going to be Hasbro's doing this Hasbro PostCon at the end of September, where they're going to talk about all their brands, Marvel Legends, Star Wars, including the Black Series, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, everything else they got going on. But we got a little bit of a surprise release with this guy who's available at Hasbro Pulse, Entertainment Earth, and other places. Some other fan retailers. Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Doom is one of my favorite villains, so this is an awesome figure. I will also geek out anytime that a figure has that sort of throwback look, as opposed to like trying to make it a more modern. I love this figure. I've said before, I'm not a big collector, but this is one that I kind of want. The packaging too. I mean, it's like a classic Fantastic Four animated series type thing. Which
let me pull up our website and you can see a little bit more. There we go. So he comes with some alternate hands, and he comes in that classic Marvel Comics with the yellow script on the bottom. So it's just really cool.
Yeah, and this was one. I believe that the prop for this, that little book that you see there, I believe they teased that at the end of one of the those Fan First Friday events a long time ago. Like I always mention, they always give you that sort of post-credit scene to tease another figure, and yeah, there you go.
Great. So that's the news, but we did have a Marvel movie come out that got forgotten about. New Mutants. You saw it at a real theater. I saw it at a drive-in because that's what I can do. What do you think?
So, all right. Reviews have not been friendly to this movie, right? Like, there's a lot of talk about it being potentially the worst X-Men movie. And to that, I would say, go back and watch Dark Phoenix. Go back and watch Last Stand again, because it's not the worst in the X-Men franchise. I went in with super low expectations. We've been talking about this for a while. It was an absolute mess trying to get this movie into theaters. So I really expected the worst, and it definitely surpassed my expectations for sure. Not to say that it was great, but I had fun. I enjoyed it. I thought the characters were fun for the most part, at least. I thought it was better than what I expected.
Yeah, so I saw it at the drive-in, and just going out to this is the first movie I've seen, like new movie I've seen it outside of like a Disney Plus, or seeing it on TV since March, right?
Right.
And so it was the experience of going there was great. It was great to just go out and see a movie, and I think New Mutants was helped by having it be the first movie. Like you didn't feel the need to go see it. Like you didn't have to rush and be there at midnight, with everyone else. Like you could go to a drive-in and not feel like you're missing the full cinematic experience because it's just the New Mutants. But it was still a lot of fun to go. With some time, I realized it's not a great movie. I haven't thought about it 10 minutes since, except doing this kind of stuff. And that's okay. And it's not because it didn't. Sometimes when like you're in an in-universe movie and it's just okay, you like, because it hurts the universe, right? Like it brought it down. This movie, they try, you can see where they were trying to go with this, but it's not going to have that chance with the Mr. Sinister and all that. Mm-hmm. So, it was there. At first, I was kind of hoping it would have like a tag or teaching like the MCU X-Men integration, but after that, at this point, I'm glad it didn't, and just let its thing, let people have something until actual new Marvel content comes. And it was fine. I don't need a New Mutants 2, but
yeah. No, I would agree with that. I was also kind of looking for a tag as well for a specific character that we never got to see in that mutant verse. But obviously that doesn't happen. So, no post-credit scene. But you mentioned that you haven't thought about it since seeing it. And that's the case for me as well. I would agree 100%. But I think just saying that means it exceeded its expectations, because I think what a lot of people were going into the theater expecting was a movie that was so bad that we would still be talking about how bad it was right now. And I don't think it hit that level for sure.
This is going to be the most forgettable Marvel movie of all time, but not the most forgettable comic book movie, which I believe is Steel.
Wow. Yeah.
Because as everyone said, it was the first superhero movie when the news came last week. Black Panther was the first superhero movie to star Black Man. I was like, no, Steel. the first good one.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I would have forgotten about Steel if it wasn't Shaquille O'Neal. But yeah, that I like I said, New Mutants better than my expectations. I've been saying with the comics that we've been reading, Magic is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters, and she did give you that cheesy eye roll moment in the movie, but I thought she was super fun. She was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, the characters I liked. The plot was dumb, and but if there's any regret I have, it's that you won't get to play with them again, because now they can have fun and they're not just sort of scared constantly. But there's only so many release dates, and I'd rather have like a real Marvel product.
Oh yeah, I mean, this doesn't do anything to kind of hold us over for Black Widow. We're still just looking forward to that, but at least it was something. It was something that got us to see a movie.
And we are about to get into production again, which means Falcon and Winter Soldier will be resuming work.
Mm-hmm. I believe I saw Doctor Strange also is supposed to be starting production pretty soon as well. So that's exciting. Good to hear.
They we'll have so Mandalorian begins October 30th. They'll probably let that run through, and then hopefully we'll have something on Disney Plus from Marvel after that's over. So
yeah, speaking of Marvel on Disney Plus, tomorrow night our Laughing Place Movie Club will be on Fantastic Four. So you can join us to watch or to talk about one of the older Marvel movies at this point. I don't
know our Marvel Movie Club where we talk about Fantastic Four, but we spent a good 10 minutes trying to figure out which version of Fantastic Four you guys were doing. I was like, there's no number 4s. It's got to be the classic.
Yeah. Marvel fan confession, I still have not watched the most recent Fantastic Four movie. I also might not plan to ever watch the most recent Fantastic Four movie. So, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but that's saying something because I just saw New Mutants. So anyway, Mac will be back next week. I'm going to be on vacation. So, but I figured we shouldn't just skip it because there's new comics and Mac should talk about them. So
yeah, I'm always ready to read and talk about new comics. So
enjoy it. I might send you my thoughts as I read them from wherever my undisclosed location. Everyone stay well, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.